Good evening, this is the Vsb Tv 11 News for Thursday, April 10th. I'm Peter Kitzel. Our top story, Masters Limited, a privately owned Hamilton hardware store that has been an iconic local enterprise for close to half a century, has become unionized. Yesterday, the 30-strong staff were asked to vote on whether or not they wish to become linked to the Bermuda Industrial Union, and the vote was 20 in favor, 4 against, and 6 abstentions. A spokesman for the staff told Vsb News that there were no major issues behind the move to join a union, but it was felt that the management style had become old-fashioned and that the time had come for the staff to be represented. A call to company president Susan Wilson went unanswered, but it is understood that the two sides plan to hold their first meeting in the near future. Shadow Education Minister Walton Brown is calling upon the minister to let the country know what is going to be done with Commissioner of Education Edmund Heatley, after it was revealed that he had made allegedly false claims about his performance in Bermuda in an application for an overseas post.
I've heard nothing else about the Commissioner of Education. I am still awaiting a response to my email, which I sent to him at the beginning of this series of events. I've had no response. I'm still waiting on the minister to make a statement about this. We've not heard nothing from the minister. It's an important issue. It is an issue that transcends the political parties. People can say what they will, but when you have someone making a substantially false statement on an application, it speaks to an issue of ethics. And I know as an educator, if any of my students plagiarize the paper, they get an immediate F. And in some universities and colleges, you get expelled for the year. So there have to be consequences for those who commit such egregious breaches of professional conduct. And but we've heard nothing from any member of the government. We've heard nothing from the minister about this. And surely this is a matter that the minister has to address.
Following the BMA's alert about the risks attached to the practice of friendly societies offering insurance coverage to their members, the Bentley Mutual Insurance Company has been informed by the TCD that it can no longer accept certificates of motor insurance issued by the company. The letter from Director Jasmine Smith claims that she is acting on the instruction of the Attorney General's chambers. And today, the insurance company's trustee, Kevin Bean Wallace, alleged that Attorney General Mark Pettingill does not have the power to order the ban, since it violates the constitutional rights of the members of Bentley. Only a magistrate has such powers, says the trustee, since the company has a license issued by the government which allows its clients to retain their own risk as per the Friendly Society Act of 1869. Mr. Bean Wallace goes on to say that if it is, as he suspects, the BMA that is making the running, it will know that the 1978 Insurance Act authorizes the BMA to regulate insurance companies who risk third-party capital to assume the risk, which the members of Bentley have done by establishing reserves that would finance any losses. A Pembroke woman appeared in Magistrates Court this morning on charges of unlawfully causing grievous bodily harm to a man. 27-year-old Deanna Hill of Angle Street pleaded not guilty to assaulting Wendell Phillips on Tuesday, April the 8th. The charges stem from an incident that occurred on Court Street. Mr. Phillips was said to have been confronted by a woman who then headbutted him twice, which resulted in him suffering a broken nose. Dill was released on $3,000 bail with one surety. Dill will return to court on July 10th for trial. Popular hotelier and ambassador of Bermuda, W.A. Toppy Cohen, has died in Canada at the age of 79 after a long bout with cancer. He died yesterday in Kelowna, British Columbia, where he had been living in retirement with his Bermudian wife Sandra for 15 years. Mr. Cohen, born the son of the keeper of the Gibbs Hill Lighthouse, was the longtime manager of the Pink Beach Club and earned the nickname of the Mayor of Flats after he led a campaign to have the village protected from heavy traffic volumes by making it a pedestrian enclave. He never succeeded, but reduced speed limits and speed bumps were approved to enable tourists to enjoy the historic area in safety. Mr. Cohen was a keen member of SCOW, the hospitality industry's social club, and he became a regular writer to the local newspapers after retirement, encouraging the island's residents to retain their renowned friendliness. Renowned ornithologist and environmental expert Dr. David Wingate feels that the effect of climate change on the world may already be out of control, and that the forecast for fewer but more intense hurricanes should make us look closely at how Bermuda will counter rising sea levels.
I absolutely agree that climate is changing at an accelerating rate, and that it's 99% certain now it's man-caused. And even though in past geological eras there have been even much greater swings of climate, nothing has happened at the rate that it's happening now. And this means that the process of evolution is not going to enable wildlife or plant life to adjust, and there's going to be massive extinctions. And it's too late now to stop terrible things from happening, in my opinion, which is really, really scary. There are some things that we can do to ameliorate problems here. We're fortunate in one respect, that we have a coastline that is very steep, running into the sea. In other words, it's a fairly steep coastline, whereas a state like Alabama or Louisiana has an extremely gradual slope on the coastline. So that makes an enormous difference as to how much land we're going to lose. With 1 foot rise in Louisiana means hundreds of square miles are going to go underwater and change from land to marshland. In Bermuda, 1 foot rise is going to have fairly little effect on the south shore, except that hurricane waves will reach a little bit higher. But there are places in Bermuda that are low-lying, and those are the areas that we should be focusing on. And unfortunately, two of those low-lying areas are industrially the most important areas in Bermuda. One is the airport, which we can't do without, and the other is the Mill Creek Valley running up through the Belco plant. And there are potential scenarios if we were to be hit by a Category 4 hurricane. Remember, Fabian was only a 3. If we were to be hit by a 4, or God help us, a 5, the storm surge and flooding from that, particularly if it was a direct hit, so that we got north winds piling up water into Great Sound, that would back up Mill Creek and flood Belco to the point where all the equipment was shut down.
Still ahead on the TV 11 News is Rachel with the weather preview.
Thanks, Peter. Mainly fair through Saturday. On the radar, not much activity, so it's going to be a dry night. But please stay tuned for the full weather report as we take a closer look at the weekend.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
Save $1 on your choice of Bermuda-grown romaine or green leaf lettuce. Only $2.49 per package. Save $1.50 per pound on fresh Purdue chicken thighs. Value packs, only $1.99 per pound. Great savings of 90 cents on an imported dozen white eggs, only $2.59. For your baking needs, bluebonnet margarine sticks, 1 pound box, $1.59. Big savings of $1.69 on Atlantic sugar, 4-pound bag, only $2.10. All stores open until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
A gentle reminder from the Office of the Tax Commissioner. It's tax time again. Taxpayers are reminded that payroll tax returns and corporate service tax returns for the quarter ending 31st March 2014 are due on or before Tuesday, 15th of April 2014. Hotel occupancy tax returns for the month ended 31st March 2014 are also due on or before Tuesday, 15th of April 2014. Full payment must accompany returns, otherwise penalties will apply. Taxpayers who are currently eligible for payroll tax relief under the retail, restaurant or hotel concessions must also file completed returns on or before the deadline. Failure to do so will result in penalties. For more information, visit www.taxbermuda.gov.bm or call 297-7807, 297-7750 or 297-7751, making your taxes a little less taxing.
Hi, I'm Peter Jovetic, host of Season to Taste. Easter greetings to you all and welcome back to the first show of the second season. I'll be here on Tuesday night with Vsb Tv 11 News, where I'll be preparing this lovely dish of lamb, which is crusted with pine nuts, rosemary and Dijon mustard, and find out from Neil what the Gosling's wine of the week is.
Tuesday, during the Vsb TV 11 News.
Bermuda is an easy way to find great discounts while discovering fun activities to do in Bermuda. Discover the best spas, restaurants, activities, services, and shops at 50% off. Sign up to Bermuda and start saving today.
Bermuda's first ever Bee Fair will be held at BUEI on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. and it will offer in a relaxed way an insight into what is being done about the crisis in the world of beekeeping, with the emphasis of education. Organizer Judy Motier sets the stage for what has been planned.
We think there'll be a lot of activities. We've had a children's school competition, so as part of the thing at 12:30, Dr. Ming from the Department of Environmental Protection will present prizes for that, and we'll have movies. We're going to have a children's movie, the Bee Movie, will be the first movie that we'll show, and then we also are showing Silence of the Bees at 11, I believe. The presentation to the students at 12:30, a documentary at 2:30, followed by the panel.
And they will address the problem.
And they will address the problem. We have Claire Jesse, who will be speaking as an entomologist and sort of the bee expert, and as far as the animal is concerned, we have Tommy Sinclair, who's acting as head beekeeper right now, Carlos Amaral, who's a farmer, so he has his own issues, and then Tommy Murdoch, who's a scientist and so is very interested in the environment and the effect on marine life and whatnot from some of the things we'll be talking about.
And giving its full support has been the Best organization, whose resources administrator, Kim Smith, looked at these solutions that might be possible.
I know there's a certain amount of work going on to establish what exactly is wrong. That's rather a long journey, because it seems to have been around for a while. Are you getting impatient?
No. No, we can't be. But we do need to make every effort that we can in those areas that we can. So, you know, one line of attack is going to be to sort of look to get protection for the bees as a number one step. And then we'll probably have better results in the other pushes that we need to look at these neonicotinoid pesticides. There's no reason that they shouldn't be banned, but of course the farmers, it's a fairly easy system to utilize for the farmers. It's a systemic system, but it's really not very good.
Tomorrow will give us the chance to introduce beekeeper D1 Seymour, who is watching his career shrinking before his very eyes. Autism is a developmental disorder that appears in the first 3 years of life and affects the brain's normal development of social and communication skills. Next week, an event, the Barnyard Bash, will be held to bring about more awareness to autism and how it affects children. Vsb News spoke to Laura Jane Forbes, who is a para-educator at Prospect Primary, about autism and how prevalent it is in Bermuda.
Obviously, autism is on the rise. We hear more about it now than we did back in the day, as people say. I think we're more aware now, and a lot of it goes diagnosed, as back in the day we just saw, children who were considered rude, or a lot of our children were institutionalized. We have a lot of adults that are at Maui right now who are living with it.
What kind of behavior would a child that's autistic sort of exhibit?
Well, there's the typical no eye contact. A lot of them are sensitive to touch or crave touch. We have a lot of children that don't want to be touched because they're very sensitive to it, and then on the flip side you have children who crave the deep tissue. So we use weighted vests or compression vests for them. We have one of the kids in our class, actually, when he is having a meltdown, he likes to be tightly held. It helps him to regulate and to calm down. Then, like others, you just they want to go in a dark corner and just chill out for a minute, and we allow that too. Every child is different. Every child has a different level of comfort and discomfort. Some people believe that it's hereditary and you're born with it. Other people believe that it's triggered by something. We see a lot of cases happen like around 18 months. You'll hear parents say that their child regressed. They started not communicating as much, rocking back and forth, doing the handshakes. So it's different.
And can you talk about what type of progress we've made as far as dealing with it, such as music therapy or art therapy?
Well, unfortunately, Bermuda is a little behind the times. We don't have as much therapy as we would like to have. There's a lot that can help, music therapy, art therapy, different ways for children to communicate and express themselves.
The Barnyard Bash will take place on April 19th from 10 to 4 at the Prospect Primary School field. Now, here's the Reinsurance Business Report, presented by Bermuda Re. Bermuda Reinsurance News, brought to you by Bermuda Re. Bermuda-based Hiscox Re has appointed Riva Bakshi as Chief Financial Officer and Paresh Thakrar as Chief Operating Officer. Bakshi will be based in Bermuda, having held senior positions within Hiscox after moving to the company from ACE. Thakrar will be based in Hiscox London offices, having been head of strategy and business analysis at McKinsey and previously worked at the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. ACE has launched a global engineering risk management service that will deliver comprehensive real-time risk control data to international risk managers. Raymond Navickas will lead the new unit as Senior Vice President, Global Property Engineering, and will lead the integration of ACE's regional engineering operations around the world. New Bermuda-based reinsurer Watford Re's investment strategy will enable it to underwrite casualty business that would not normally make the cut at a traditional casualty reinsurer, as Arch lands another innovative first. This is the word from John Ratgaber, CEO of Watford Re, who tells Bermuda Re that while most casualty reinsurers have struggled to get pricing to work in the low interest rate environment, we believe that with the structure we have put in place, we can offer more attractive terms to clients and attract some of the business that has been lost to the market in recent years. XL Group has teamed up with Terra Firma Risk Management to release a comprehensive kidnap, ransom, and extortion crisis policy, which will be delivered through XL's U.S. crisis management team. Coverage includes kidnap and ransom, hijacking, wrongful detention, child abduction, hostage crisis, disappearance and assault, and will include response capabilities and crisis management guidance. That's Bermuda Reinsurance News, brought to you by Bermuda Re. Now, here is a look at the daily markets, presented by Bias.
Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. U.S. stocks tumbled on Thursday, led by technology and biotech on valuations concerns, while U.S. Treasuries sank to a 3-week low on speculation interest rate increases won't be as accelerated. U.S. stocks ended sharply lower, with the NASDAQ Composite Index falling 3.1% for the day, as technology shares resumed a sell-off that concerns valuations are too high. 48,300 shares of Bank of Butterfield stocks traded on the Bermuda Stock Exchange, as the price was unchanged at $1.99 per share. 12,243 shares of Keytech changed hands, trading at $5.11 per share. European stocks declined as a report showed Chinese imports unexpectedly slumped last month, outweighing gains by personal and household goods companies. France's CAC 40 fell 0.66%. Asian stocks rose after China announced plans to link Hong Kong and Shanghai markets. The Hang Seng Index rose 1.51% and the Shanghai Composite advanced 1.38%. Latin American indices ended mixed. Brazil's Vsb fell for a third day as a drop in commodities sank exporters. The Vsb declined 0.37%. Treasuries rose as the U.S. sale of $13 billion in 30-year bonds drew higher than average demand. 10-year yields fell 5 basis points to 2.65%. The dollar was generally weaker against a basket of peers on speculation a drop in initial jobless claims won't be enough for the Federal Reserve to accelerate plans to raise interest rates. That was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. There's more news after the break.
Perfect for your fish cakes, Ocean's finest codfish. Only $6.99 for a 400-gram bag. Save $1.50 per pound on fresh green beans. Only $2.49 per pound. Save $1.15 on Hunt's Ketchup 35-ounce squeeze bottle. Only $2.29. Snack on Wise potato chips. Only $1.49 for a 3.75-ounce bag. Regular, diet, cherry, or zero Coca-Cola soda. Only $4.99 for a 6-pack. All stores open until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
I donated.
We donated. We donated.
We donated.
We donated. We donated. Have you?
We need your support. Create a legacy for your family with a donation to the Bermuda Hospital's Charitable Trust. Visit our website, whyitmatters.bm, or call 295-2428.
A gentle reminder from the Office of the Tax Commissioner. It's tax time again. Taxpayers are reminded that payroll tax returns and corporate service tax returns for the quarter ending 31st March 2014 are due on or before Tuesday, 15th of April 2014. Hotel occupancy tax returns for the month ended 31st March 2014 are also due on or before Tuesday, 15th of April 2014. Full payment must accompany returns, otherwise penalties will apply. Taxpayers who are currently eligible for payroll tax relief under the retail, restaurant or hotel concessions must also file completed returns on or before the deadline. Failure to do so will result in penalties. For more information, visit www.taxbermuda.gov.bm or call 297-7807, 297-7750 or 297-7751, making your taxes a little less taxing.
Bermuda will be the 60th stop when the Queen's Baton Relay arrives here on April 25th. Over the course of the 248-day relay leading up to the 20th Commonwealth Games, the baton will be carried through all 71 nations of the Commonwealth. This marks the third time the baton has landed on local soil. More from the chairman of the Queen's Baton Relay Committee, Robert Horton.
The Bermuda Olympic Association is extremely excited, and we believe that the entire community will share in that excitement as the 25th of April, the date of the arrival of the Queen's Baton in Bermuda, fast approaches. The Queen's Baton Relay is a much-loved tradition of the Commonwealth Games. It symbolizes the coming together of all nations and territories that comprise the Commonwealth in preparation for the Games themselves. It symbolizes the core values of the Commonwealth Games federations: humanity, equality, and destiny. On the following day, Saturday the 26th of April, the big day, the baton will be received by His Excellency the Governor, the Premier, the Minister of Community, Culture and Sports, and a number of other Bermuda luminaries. It will be carried by athletes past and present, including Bermuda's Commonwealth Games medalists, many young people, and a wide cross-section of the Bermuda population. The baton will visit many of Bermuda's most significant, iconic, and beautiful locations. These will include King's Square in St. George's, Crystal Cave in Hamilton Parish, Palm Grove in Devonshire, the city of Hamilton, various points there, the National Sports Centre, Warwick Long Bay, and Windreach Recreational Village in Warwick. The baton organizers, observing that approximately half of the Commonwealth's population is 25 years or under, an amazing stat, encourage the participation of as many young people as possible in the relay. In these circumstances, visits to schools would have been principal stops on the baton's journey through Bermuda. However, the baton is here principally on a Saturday. Hence, the BOA, with the cooperation of the Department of Parks, has planned the baton's visit to the Botanical Gardens on the occasion of the final day of the annual agricultural exhibition, when thousands of young people in particular are likely to be present.
April is Environmental Awareness Month, and Vsb Tv 11 is airing relevant documentaries exploring environmental issues concerning all of us on Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. for the month of April. Sponsored by Auto Solutions, Roll With Us, Belco, The Power to Save, and Lindo's, Why Go Anyplace Else? Environmental Awareness Month on Vsb Tv 11.
Choose to be healthy, Bermuda. Get out there and exercise with a sunscreen, hat, and shirt on every day. Eat healthy, don't smoke, and check your brown spots once a month to detect skin cancer early. Anything growing darker, bigger, jagged borders needs to be checked. Wear your sunscreen, hat, and shirt every day. Be sun safe, Bermuda.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's VSB Weather Forecast. Our weather shot is brought to us by Dennis Whitehead, taken at midday at John Smith Bay. Absolutely gorgeous day. Gorgeous day to be at the beach. We see two beachgoers lying out in the sun, starting to warm up, really looking like summer now. Beautiful blue skies, just a couple of clouds. Winds are dropping. It's a nice, calmer seas than yesterday. Thank you, Dennis. Temperatures for today, we had a high of 69 at 12:30 in the afternoon and a low of 65 at 7 in the morning. Current conditions, 66 degrees, humidity 55%, winds northeast 10 to 15 knots, and barometric pressure is rising slowly at 30.24 inches. Rainfall index for the month of April, 1.18, for a yearly total of 20.27. Yearly normal for this time, 16.01 inches. And looking at the satellite, high pressure to our west will move to our north tonight, becoming a broad ridge oriented southwest to northeast near to our north. This will maintain mainly fair weather through Saturday. Moist tropical air will move in along the southern flank of this ridge, bridging a few showers on Sunday. And if you're traveling, Atlanta, partly cloudy, 75. Boston, mostly cloudy, 62. Charlotte, mostly sunny, and 78. London, partly cloudy, and 63. Miami, 81 and mostly cloudy. New York, 65, possible rain. Orlando, 81, partly cloudy. Philadelphia, 69 and mostly cloudy. Toronto, partly cloudy, 54. Washington, possible rain, and 71 degrees. Back at home tonight, partly cloudy with a low near 64. Winds northeast, 12 to 18 knots. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, high near 69, winds northeast, 10 to 15 knots, and then gradually veering easterly, 8 to 12 knots. Marine tonight, small craft warning, seas inside the reef, 2 to 3 feet, seas outside the reef, 5 to 9 feet, and the sea surface temperature is 71 degrees. Marine tomorrow, no warnings, seas inside the reef, 0 to 2 feet, seas outside the reef, 5 to 8 feet. High tide will be at 6:29 in the morning and low tide will be at 12:55 in the afternoon. And looking at the 5-day forecast. Saturday, sunny periods, high near 69. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a few showers, high near 70. Monday, mostly sunny, high near 71 and breezy. And Tuesday, partly cloudy and breezy with a high near 72. Thank you to Ken Smith, our meteorologist for tonight, and everyone at the Bermuda Weather Service. I'm Rachel Sawden. Have a great evening.
Thanks for tuning in to the TV 11 News. Good night.
Peter Cattell's attire courtesy of A.S. Cooper & Sons Limited.
VSB TV 11, Bermuda.